What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Today, I'm going to create a MidJourney inspired floor plan, a barndominium floor plan in 60 minutes. Let's get to it. So, this is what we're looking at. Put some prompts into MidJourney. Wanted a modern barndominium looking style plan. So yeah, got a handful of prompts here and there and settled on this one for the target for what I wanted to do. Target design style here. All right, some site parameters. So 60 by 60 building pad. I'm not going to be super strict on this. Most people looking at a barndominium have an acreage site, so I'm going to stick with that. But 60 by 60 pad to get a common size barndominium for you here. And then design program. We're going to try for 4 beds, 2.5 baths, open concept main living. Obviously, you saw on the exterior there, we're going to do some side porches. We want a really large 2-car garage, and we're going to have some fun. Whether you like it or not, we're going to have some fun. So stick around. I will show you my complete process from AutoCAD. Maybe if we have time, get into some SketchUp. And yeah, you'll see from scratch where I start with a plan like this. So as I mentioned, started with MidJourney, and then we're plugging it all into AutoCAD to build a plan around it. All right, let's jump into the CAD, get the keyboard up. We're rocking and we're rolling. Okay, I'm gonna start. I am not gonna start, hopefully. My numpad needs to resync. So let's start with there. Basically, the numpad took a shart. There we go. Okay. We're live. We're rolling. Okay. Starting with a 32 by 60 footprint here. Okay. So for barndominiums, barndominium phrase gets thrown around a lot. I think what they mean is slab on grade post and beam. So slab on grade, you have a concrete floor with no basement below it. Post and beam means your structure is not conventional 16 inch on center load bearing walls, but it is typically 6 by 6s. Could be any size post, but let's show 6 by 6s. And the 6 by 6s are spread so far apart, much further apart than 16 inches. You're talking feet, depending on the design of your structure. But then we have these interior and exterior girts, what they're called. So they're horizontal planking that then you use to affix your siding and drywall, everything like that to them. So that's what I'm showing here. I have a 60 by 32 shell. Then I'm showing those girts. So overall, that framed wall dimension is 8.5 inches. So 5 by 5 for the air quotes wall, which is really just our post and beam space. And then 1.5 inches for the girts. So starting there. All right. And then as you remember from those MidJourney images, we got our porches. I think it's going to look better if they're not flush with the front. And then I don't want to complicate the structure too much. I mean, notice those MidJourney images, they had finished area like the garage was under the porch here. I'm still debating on whether or not we want to do that or how deep these porches even go. So let's start with this. Let's do a 32 by 24 garage. For this back section, and then we'll cut the porches short there. You could show area under these porches here. You're just part of the reason why barndominiums have been so popular is they're a very efficient structure to build. It's literally a barn, right? And barns are the cheapest structures we know how to build. Big rectangle truss roof. Yeah, so I didn't want to complicate that too much by adding a ton of finished area here. These porches can just be slab on grade with like circular piers, sonotubes we usually pour, holding up those columns, which is then holding roof. So this stays really simple, but if we put the garage in this space here, then we're jogging the foundation out, or complicating that post and beam structure and things. Again, not impossible, but a consideration I'm making. So let's see here. If that's our garage, let's show. So one cool thing about these barndos is garages, right? I think this is a big reason why people build these. So let's show a couple 10 by 8 garage doors. Those can probably each come to the middle a little bit. So, got our start with our garage. I pulled another barndo plan here just for reference when I did some drafting on. Okay, now we got a pretty big living area. We could start carving out 30 by 35. Let's see here. Finished square footage, you're looking around 1,200, just under 1,200. Oh man, tune's really ramped up here. We're rocking and rolling. Okay, so again, from our inspiration image, we have a massive bank of windows on the front there. Let's see if I can pull that up. Oh, those are my downloads, isn't it? Pulling up the barndo. Where'd it go? Okay. Yeah, it had some doors there. I don't know if we need to show doors on that front face or not. This front face here. I'm almost wondering if it'd be better off to show just a really cool, awesome window set. Big triple window, and then we're doing doors to the sides, right? So let's see if this is our patio area. All right, got our door there from the patio. What does that make that dining area? 18.7, way too big. Maybe not actually. We kind of want that to be nice and generous sized. Okay, let's start to put our kitchen in then. We'll start with it there. Obviously, we want a monster island. Okay, so I'm thinking this is probably going to be open 2-story area. So this bank of windows here, then with loft and bedrooms above on this back side, like above the garage there. Which means we'd have 1,300 square feet upstairs. Yeah, we might want to try and get another bedroom in here then, if we can. Let's see here, that's 11 feet. Yep. Liking that. Okay. So what I was chewing through is we put the stairs right here. So that's a landing going up, and then stairs coming down this way. Well, they'd be coming up, but I'm showing them in reverse. Where did my line go? There we go. Let's see, we want at least 10 foot main floor ceiling, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so we need a couple more treads. Oh, it's getting pretty far into the kitchen area, though. Maybe that living doesn't need to be so big. If that's the kitchen, we're talking massive space. Okay, island there. Let's label some stuff. Although we didn't leave a lot of room for some other stuff. Like pantry and whatnot. Maybe this area does need to come down a skosh. That would help us out some. So let's show a little mudroom area off the back here. Maybe that could be closet area for that bedroom. We need to get to the bedroom somehow and to that mudroom area somehow. Let's think about this. So we are on the small side still. Let's throw some furniture in here so we can see it. Probably start to feel a little better. We'll grab some layers. This is the floor plan I was working on yesterday. Okay, so that dashed line would be the line of the loft above. What are we at here? 60. Yeah, we're 60 deep. Let's go to the upstairs. So, reason I'm going to the upstairs is I want to know how hard I need to press for this bedroom / office. Do we need one on the main floor, or can I get by without it? Actually, I kind of like the stairs coming up over here on this side, because then it empties to your loft area there. Because otherwise, it would look weird. Yeah, it would be weird. Okay, so then we'd have a bearing point in these stairs, then a flush beam coming through there, and then this would be a bearing wall as well. And then we could run everything front to back. If you didn't want to do any steel in this garage, you could do floor trusses. So a set of floor trusses and then a set of roof trusses above there. We also need an area for mechanicals as well. So this is our loft. So what is, so we're only 2,400 square feet. So I'm gonna just see what like a 13 by 14 bedroom would look like. And then we'll come back 12 feet for this bedroom. So yeah, if we only did 3 beds up there, you're looking at a lot more usable space. Laundry probably goes up there then too. Coffee break. I don't know if 4 bedrooms would feel right though. So 11 by 12, that's 11 by 12 bedroom. Bedroom, 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 and then a primary suite there. You know what? That might be enough, actually. Have your main hallway coming through here. Okay, so we got 11 by 12, 8, 11 by 12 for that bedroom, and then 11 by 12 for that bedroom. Okay. Closets are going to eat into that space some, but if we do bath here, and this is primary bath. This is primary suite. Yeah, I don't even need all that room for that hall bath here. So I can definitely start to give some of that back. Let's see, where does this wall come to? We'll need a pretty low slope roof for this as well. Make sure we can get egress windows along this side here for all those. I guess really though, it's only this front room. It's gonna be above that porch line. These will be above the garage. Okay. So that's your loft. That's your bath. How do closets work in this arrangement? You can do one here for that first bedroom. I guess the middle bedroom's really the only one that's kind of got issues. Or we just move this wall line. Do them all along that hallway. Ooh, yeah, I like that. That's still clear, the primary, yep. Shrinking our bath some, but it makes the closets a lot more doable because then we can do that line there for those bedrooms. And then just closets in the rooms. And then they're still all like 11 by 12-ish. Actually a little more than 11 by 12. And This one I want flipped in this room though. Okay. If we did a walk-in closet here for that primary, what would that make the primary suite? I need to stretch this a little. 1110 by 15. I don't love that. Maybe that's a secondary closet here or something at the end of the hallway. A different walk-in. What is this now? 13.4 by 14. Okay, we still need to find room for a good size primary closet. One thing though, in cramming this extra bedroom up here, we've kind of driven the downstairs to need the laundry. Not that that's a massive issue. Bath-wise, what are we looking at? 8.4 by 10. That's livable. All right, I got this room layout guide. I pull a lot of common layouts from, just to jumpstart design process. And yeah, that one will work pretty close. Change the layers so you can see that stuff. Maybe this won't work. That does eat a good bit into that closet. Shoot. Yeah, maybe I should push the bedroom back on the main. Make that the fourth. Because then, like if this doesn't need to be a bedroom, let's copy this over. If this doesn't need to be a bedroom, this can all just be primary suite. And then what I was showing as primary bath could be laundry, or like laundry / walk-in closet. Maybe the bath gets turned, the kids' hall bath gets turned here, right? And then laundry could come off the loft here or something. Let me fiddle around with that. Or laundry here. Yeah, that could work. Because then you could do walk-in closet there. Wrong way. Let's go. Why won't it grab that line? Trying something different. That looks like a good spot for linen closet. Oh, you could even make that shower bigger. Oh, the shower got real big. Oh yeah, then you got huge spot for vanities. You could even do a freestanding tub in here now. Yeah. All right, well that really changed things. Changed a lot of stuff. Okay, laundry up there. All right, so we do need to fight for this bedroom down here. Okay, I'm really good with this second floor. Let me show that freestanding tub so you can see it. I have a standard freestanding tub, but think about, like, there's a lot of different sizes for tubs. And shapes, more specifically. A lot of them are like more rectangular. So make sure if you're like putting that in as at an angle or anything weird, you account for the actual size of your tub. I have 7 feet cabinet to cabinet here, so I'm not super worried about it. Big window there. Got another big window here. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a way to even do the bath in a smaller area and scrape some walk-ins out of that. Let's go back to the main floor though, because now I'm a little bit more worried about this. Okay, so getting to this bed office. Let's go back to the L kitchen. If that is going to be a bed office and a legitimate bedroom, then we need a legitimate bathroom. How big is this bed office? 11 by 13.3. That's a good size. So this is big enough for a bathroom. Let's see here. Let's put the bathroom there. What are we looking at? 10 by 13. Still a good size if that's your 4th bedroom. It's my space saver bath. Let's see if that fits in there. Oh yeah, it does. Then hallways back to the bedroom there. I guess this by default becomes our mudroom area. Could do pantry there still. Although that's not a great space for the oven. I am very reluctant to show ovens on, I'm going to go down to 3'6" spacing in the kitchen. I'm very reluctant to show ovens on islands. I just don't love it with the venting and everything. I think it really clutters stuff up. So I want to figure out a better solution if I can. So, oh wait, just gotta put that on the outside wall. Is anyone else checking their phone for that ding? I think it's in the music, but every time it's dinging now, I'm like, wait, did I get a notification? Yeah. Oh, where to put the fridge then? Dang. I don't love it there. Yeah, we can move the island back a little for the spacing, but makes the triangle feel weird. now I'm thinking of pivoting back to the 4 bedrooms upstairs. Let's see here. I could take 15 inches out of that loft and still have it be usable. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's something that would work with this primary bath. If you're watching, hit me up in the comments. Which direction do you think I should go with it? Yeah. So it gets down to, should we do 4 bedrooms up or 3 bedrooms up and then cram that 4th on the main floor here? The main floor is going to live a lot better. And again, I could just make this whole thing bigger. But my general rule of thumb is always start smaller. It's easier to make it bigger. Because then if that was not an office, we could do more kitchen area, make this the mudroom, make this the pantry. Have the fridge on this wall here. Even recess that a little bit. The kitchen's gonna live a lot better. Mud laundry area here. Maybe even enough room for like a small office. Then 4 beds up. The only issue is primary bath. We could go with just a smaller, more standard. Primary bath, right? Gotta make sure we at least get a double bowl in there though. I think we're still at about 2,400 square feet. Where's my dash line? We could take some space for the main living too if we wanted to. What are we at? 30 foot 10 by 17. Really want to though. Five. 13.4 by 13.8 for that primary. Let's take this 4 inches actually. And that's a big shower. This loft end up at 15.5 by 10.8. Actually, I think we should take it just a little bit more for that shower too. So 15.5 by 10 for the loft. Still enough to fit a game table in there. 42-inch round table. Yeah, if you want to play something or throw a couple couches up there, or maybe that's your secondary workstation office space. Oh, whoops. Wrong loft. There we go. Some windows on that side. Okay. All right, so laundry on this main floor. Let's Let's make it a big laundry. Why am I being stingy with it? And then recess fridge area. And then opening to the kitchen. Do a little built-in here. All right. This is starting to feel like something. Oh, we need a couple more treads upstairs though. And we still need some mechanicals. How far are we in? What time are we at? 37 minutes. Couple treads upstairs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 would get us 10-foot main floor ceilings. Oh my goodness. There we go. And that could all be open rail going up. Open rail on this side here. Closet, closet, closet. Could even get a walk-in for that end one. So we have room under the stairs here for a closet as well. Maybe that's where you set the water heater. That's pretty common in slab ungrade plans, to put it under the this area will be relatively tricky to heat. You know, if all the heat is coming from the floor space in between these two. So you could frame out some like almost like soffit areas for it. You could show something like more modern and do whatchamacallit, like spiral duct or something. Or we could put the mechanicals upstairs and have everything run in the attic, blowing down. Or we could just put a chase in wherever those mechanicals are sitting. Does look a little bit tricky though. So got a few options. I like the idea of the modern. The modern spiral duct would be cool. So this is a little walk-in closet for the mudroom. This is the mudroom area, and this would be laundry slash mechanical. 9 by 13, looking pretty good. Let's label these. Mud. Laundry. Walk-in. And this is pantry. This is then kitchen, as you know. And this is your big gathering room. All right, sweet. Let's switch to SketchUp. Start building this so we can see how it looks compared to our original Barndo plan. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing the AutoCAD. And then let's show again that barndominium. As you can see, we're close-ish on the layout. And then let's share. Hey, let's share that screen. Don't forget to do it. I streamed a couple weeks ago, or last week. I forgot to share the SketchUp screen and did like 20 minutes just talking to the camera without you being able to see what was going on. So we're back. Boom. Okay. So our overall footprint, I stopped sharing the AutoCAD, but I'm jumping back to AutoCAD to measure it. 32.3 by 60 foot 3. 32 foot 3. That was with the girts in there. Okay. And then, yeah, 8 inches for top of foundation, 10 foot 1 and an eighth. Main floor ceiling. We'll do 24-inch joist space, then 8 foot 1 and an eighth for 8 foot second floor ceiling. Okay, we came back 4 feet with these. They were 12 feet out. Nope. 12 feet, not 12 inches. And then they went back, those patios, 32 feet. Just go like that. That'll be easier. And then, oops. Boom. Okay. Those are probably sitting slightly above grade as well. I'm showing a 12-12 roof pitch here. You kind of have to, this style. I'm already noticing too, based on our AI image, getting a working floor plan on this. I decided to go 32 feet wide just for a good sized garage and everything, but that is wider than what the MidJourney image I think was showing. It's impossible to tell, you know, it's an AI making something up, so I can't really dimension off of it, but just my guess is that proportionally looked a little narrower, so I drew it wider for the sake of floor plan function, but that will affect the look as well. So looking pretty barn-like. We're looking pretty barn-like. Okay. Let's just make a 12 by 12 post. Have that plate at 10 feet. I'm just gonna highlight all those faces, make it a group so that I can easily jump those around. And then I'll just copy those over to this other side. And I want another one of those. I'm going to copy up. Hit that little red dot to rotate. And then that is going to frame out some of that like timber framing detail you saw on the exterior. And we'll go like that. All right. Probably have one as well, carrying the length of that porch, those porches, I should say. Okay, then probably do a metal roof so we can do a super shallow pitch here. So I'm going to start with 312, just see how that feels. Well, yeah. 8, and then okay. Yeah, because I wanted those to be short enough to be able to get egress windows in above those beds, if you remember. Which leaves us, oh yeah, 4'9". We're fine. We're more than fine. Gonna make that a group as well. Carry a couple of those over. And then I'm gonna make this whole thing another group. So I can just mirror it real quick. And we're gonna rotate it. Spin that sucker around. And boom. We're back. Okay, nice big window set. Oh, dang. This is looking pretty close. Pretty close to what we had. I mean, like I said, obviously it's a bit different because MidJourney is creating a image, not a floor plan, but I feel like we're in the ballpark. Okay. Let's see here. This is 2x4. So we want to make this 3 feet wider and 2 feet taller. And then we're going to come up 8. That was the top of the slab. And we'll just come up another 2 feet. Oops. There we go. Oh, make this one unique, right? Show some transoms on those. Oh, nope. Come on. You gotta select it, and then you gotta move it. There we go. There we go. Okay. Window set. Copying that window set up. Dang, that's a lot of wall space. Okay, so I'm gonna show another set. Those transom windows. Maybe that's all like one inset area. And then we want our massive, okay, so cost warning here. Because I was trained by a builder, I feel like I have a decent sense for when they're gonna freak out and be like, hey, that's really expensive. And we're there, gang. This timber frame detail, you can't get just anybody to do it. Like, you can't get a sider to do it. It's not gonna feel right. Unless you have a very talented sider. You know, you might need like a trim carpenter or something. I mean, yeah. You don't want to screw something like this up. So, but drawing it is going to look freaking cool. Let's just see proportions. So I'm showing 8x12s and like 10x12s. 12x12, sorry. No. Wow. I'm trying to do two things at once, and I keep saying the wrong number. Let's try this again. So the bottom beam is a 6x12. These will be 8x6s, the connectors. Let's just draw a line across where that connector hits. Draw another line across where that connector hits. Snap to parallel and delete all that extra crap. Delete that, delete that. delete this. And boom. There we go. Starting to look like what we had, right? Let's see here. Let's flip this back on. Looks like they had an awning or something above there. Looks like that beam detail is actually slightly smaller. But I don't want to go above this height. This window set could probably, yeah. I don't want to get into the attic space there. Maybe I should make this smaller. I'm just going to copy this over, delete it, make it a group so I can manipulate it a little easier. Probably should have done that in the first place. Delete all these little guys, little doodads. Oh, let me turn the SketchUp back on so you can see what I'm doing. Glad I remembered. Glad I remembered. Alright, we're going to make this a group. And then we can, oh, gotta grab that. Okay, we can come down not quite as far with it. Oh, that was 6 feet. So that's 10 feet. Maybe we'll do 8 feet as the bottom. Still like a massive bottom chord, but again, it's gonna look cool. When you're trying to figure something like this out and you're working with the field crew and they're like, how are we gonna build it? And you know, you're brainstorming and stuff. You just say, but it's gonna look sweet. They never like that. They really are more concerned about how they're gonna build it than how it's gonna look. Weird, huh? Okay. Let's make that unique. That needs to be slightly shorter. Triple like attic window here. Okay. Ooh, we got ourselves a barndominium, people. What colors did we want? That's all like barn siding. I don't know that it needs to be that. I mean, it'd look the coolest if we did all wood siding with it. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it needs to be white siding with just the wood accents. That might look better, actually, yeah. Let's do that. And then just like some of these areas are black. Okay, we're gonna push all those windows back. Okay. Let's show some trim around everything. This can all be white trim. Just show the black windows, you know. I like to bump the trim out slightly. Just so you can see it a pop more when you render it. So that's what I'm showing now, some corner boards. Oh, cool. Does that need like the wood awning here? This needs to come past though. It's not gonna feel right. Oop. I want to bring these back to the front wall. This is just me being anal. I don't know if this would really matter or you'd ever pick it up on a rendering, but then I gotta delete those faces. Sometimes SketchUp remakes faces that you don't want. So we're gonna come back and delete them. That probably needs a good old wood bracket. And then that line looks a little funky. Let's bring that up some so that it's parallel. Yes, I am. If you're wondering, I'm just making this up as I go. If this were not a timed thing, I would probably actually do measurements for it. But hey, you get what you get. Those are gonna look cooler if they go up like 2 inches. Look like they're notched into that. Ooh, yeah, dig it. Should we also include some of those in the porch detail? Maybe. This is, I feel like people go back and forth on these too. Get some people that really want them. Some people that really don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to look cool. We're going to go with it. We're going to let her rip. Let it rip. I can't tell what you guys can hear, but my dog, somebody came to the door. And doggo is freaking out. So, if you can hear that, that's Tango. He wants to say hi. Saying hi for the live stream. Oh, sweet. Okay. And then we're just going to copy all those over. Flip them around. Which I just need to grab. If I've got them all highlighted, I just need to grab one of those. And it flips all of them. And if you get your grab points right, everything should match. You know, if you do the measurements and everything, nice and even Stevens. Okay, let's show some egress windows on the sides here, because we will need those. What is this window now? So this is 2 feet by 3'6". Let's make unique. Let's go 30 by 4 foot. That's big enough for a casement. So 2'6" by 48. Not every window manufacturer. Oh, that's 4'6". I don't need that tall. Not every window manufacturer has a casement that size. Like it might be like a 32 by 48. You'll need to check before you get yourself locked into something like that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, I can have these sticking out of the face actually. I'm just gonna do it because it's a little easier to show. Those probably in there, there, and there. Maybe this is a big triple for that bonus space. Let me close this door. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm only gonna show this side too. So we don't need to see both sides. You get it. You got a good imagination. In that laundry room area, we will definitely have another double window. And then the great room area, another window as well for that space. And then let's show a couple garage doors. Nope, not those. Let's show the cool ones. All right, so right now, those are, let's see here. That's 16 by 7. So I want to make it 10. Oh, I can't make it 10. We'll do 8. 10 by 8. That's what we said. So a foot there. Oh my goodness. I'm doing the wrong thing. 2 10 by 8 doors. Maybe we'll show an 18 by 10 or an 18 by 8. Goodness. We'll get there, gang. We will get there. Alrighty. Got our garage door. And plop that on. Rotate it up. Sweet. All right, let's show some window trim and then decorate this one out. Oh, we just passed an hour. I'm gonna finish this one out though, because we're so close, right? So, okay, I got a preset for window trim. Explode that. That's off. It was not a foot up. There we go. That feels off too for some reason. Yeah, it was off. That's why it feels off. Funny how that works. Moving around. I'm looking for that little red grab point. There we go. Grabbing this down, and then we're just going to copy these. Now, fortunately, the rest of these windows are all the same size, so we can just blast this one to all of them. And then this was the same size as the window above. And then this, I'm gonna move that garage door. Put some trim around that. Oh, sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. We're almost there. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay. So now I'm gonna open up an Enscape window. You can't see this. I'm not going to bother sharing this. But this is just the Enscape materials panel. So I'm going to load a couple into the drawing for us. A couple good wood patterns. I like these. They just render really well. So I have a few consistent ones that I use. Okay. And then we go to this home menu. Those are all in there. Oh, that does look cool though. If we just show white siding, this would be slightly bigger. There we go. Okay. And now all our verticals. Do one color. Huh. Is this column in a bad spot? It is. And then all our horizontals. Nope, that's another vertical. I want to show a wood with a horizontal grain pattern. There we go. That's all one group. What did I do here? Weird. Weird. Okay. I'm gonna edit these components. That same wood pattern. Okay, and then come back in, edit this guy. And then roofing. I want to show some roofing. Gonna show some metal roofing because that'll look sick. I think, at least. I don't know. We'll see. You be the judge. Let's come in and edit that material as well to make those bumps feel a little more present. Sorry, that's another window that just popped up. You could see. Cool beans. Okay. That needs to be our wood pattern too. All right, let's give that some color. Yeah, I'm liking the black eaves and fascia, but keep the trim white. And then, let's show a couple lights. To really accentuate this thing. Oh, this is the song with the ringtone again. Let's copy those down, put a few on the porch for us as well. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to update the rendering because we're so far in the time, but I think I would probably show a door to this patio, either from the laundry into the mudroom, which could be cool, nice and functional. or from the great room out. But yeah, something from that side so you could access it. All right, last but not least, let's show some land, some earth. Let's just imagine the driveway is going off in this direction. Driveway. And then our site. Let's bring that driveway up a smidge so that it pops from the grass. And some concrete. And then we're going to color that grass with grass. Enscape, and I think Lumion does this too. It's like real live grass. So right now it looks pretty dead, but it's actually going to hatch that in the rendering. It'll actually show that as like real grass, which is kind of cool. All right, pulling up the Enscape window for assets. I am going to show some bushes and some shrubs just to give this a little life, and a bunch of trees around the property. A couple lavenders there and there. And then let's start to show some trees. Trees everywhere. I find like trees, oh, that's in the sky. Trees help you fade into the background some. I'm showing them in front too, so that you can see some of those reflections and things in the windows. But I want those pine trees closer to the house to give it a mountain feel, but then the broadleaf trees kind of hide the horizon, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's probably plenty. Okay, now I'm gonna stop sharing one more time and start sharing a new window. One last window. I'm loading Enscape. So we are gonna end with a rendering today. Kind of exciting. And let's share screen, window. There we go. That wood could be a little lighter now that I'm seeing it rendered. Could go even lighter than that. But what do you think of our barn dough? Let me know in the comments. I will post the full plan to Instagram once I get it finalized. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk at you soon. Enjoy your day.